All right, ready?
Yes.
Hitting go live. And there you have it. We are live. Welcome, guys. How's it going? It's time to talk about things and stuff.
Yes. Things and stuffs on Trekyards.
That's right. Specifically, body snatching, grave robbing. Lots of fun things going on.
But speaking of fun things going on, Stuart, you can, the wonderful audience, go back and look at our deep dive, breakdown, comparison, review, analysis of the Defiant from yesterday, comparing it with multiple 3D models from the show, looking at Data, who's back. Today, though, we released the Bird of Prey, the Bounty, which was really interesting to kind of compare it to the miniature and the CG. And what do you think of my Tribble thumbnail?
It was fantastic. I didn't like it as much as Brett did, but the more I looked at it, the more I liked it, and I kind of got why he loved it so much. So
it took a little bit of effort, as you can imagine, even just color grade it, because remember that was a blue scene. I kind of because I was like, you can't just have that on the screen; it won't sell people. But
yeah, that was really fun.
That shit's gonna kill Kirk, and that's actually a good episode, guys. Watch it, because it's you'll feel our vibe by the end. We had a vibe for sure.
Yes.
Oh dear. And of course tomorrow we're back to this again. Whew.
Yeah, tomorrow's a new new Picard. Oh, it's nice.
That's what happens when we have enough to talk about for an entire week. It's like, oh wow, we're already the next week.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Wow.
And it may be amazing. That's the thing. Where the hell do you come follow from this? And I'm sure they'll end up talking some predictions as well in this live, because obviously we talk about where they're going, etc. Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how. I've heard that this next one's exposition-y, but that's okay. I think that can be done well.
Well, I mean, they've now got the entire cast, so of all the times for them to talk, when you've got all 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot to talk about today, guys, and I think we're going to be confused. We're going to be engaged, not to each other, not to any of you, but just as to the audience. Yeah, we're here to talk, and we actually really want to know what you guys think. This is definitely going to be, what do you guys think? Right?
Yes, well, that's what the thing. We want to talk about what you guys want to talk about, and your ideas, your theories. So yeah, please chime in with those for sure.
Well, I just noticed on the Trekyards channel, are these things just posted official or fan? As in, not publicly. There's now many of them.
Yes, there are. Just they're kind of fan-ish,
okay.
But they're behind me in case you can't tell. I wanted to be running them
so
while we were.
They're fanny, is what you're saying.
Sure, there's somebody's fanning ass. Yeah.
Because that's a lot of cool things. That's what I'm seeing. That's why I'm saying.
There will be more too. I just
wow.
Get some thrown up there right today, real quick.
Very exciting. He likes his themed L cards. But speaking of themed L cards, I'm gonna share it live.
Go for it.
Does that connect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go share. And this is my time with you guys to tell you guys to hit that like button. 86 of you here, 42 likes. That is awesome, guys. Let's try to get to 50 likes right away. We can do that, no problem. Please like the video and, share it around if you want. Anybody that you think might like to watch it or the channel, let them know about us. We really appreciate that. Also, don't forget to super chat in. We want to hear your thoughts, your comments, your questions, your concerns, your theories, your conspiracies, whatever you want to talk about. Put them in the super chat. We will read them all and discuss each one as in depth as it requires. Let's put it that way. Yes, that's a great support to the channel as well. So is joining the channel. There's a join button down there. If you click the join button, you will get to join our fleet. We have some fantastic ships, awesome captains, great crew members, and just a fantastic team of members for this channel, and we really appreciate all of you. So if you want to get on a ship and see what ship you're going to be serving on, you'll get to see at the end of every video that we do, then by all means join the channel and you see your name on the plaque for your ship. You also get to join the Discord server as well, where you get to hang out with your shipmates all your fellow Trekyardians as well as us, and chat with us over there. So lots of good perks for joining and becoming a member. You can also head on over to Patreon/Trekyards and to join over there. We have the same rank system over there, the same perks, everything. So if you're able to do so, please do. We would really appreciate it. It means a lot. And other than that, just click the links down below. There are links to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. And we have some really cool Trekyards merchandise and some shirts and cool stuff. And it's really worth checking out, I think. So click those links and see if you can help us in that way also. But honestly, just show up for our videos, show up for our lives, come and hang out with us. We really appreciate all that and all you guys do. So, yeah, if you're able to, help in any way, please do so. All right. I've been transferred to the Protostar. I'm ship hopping, says T. Luzel. Yeah, a lot of people had to because we had to shift captains. So, yeah. Dan, I'm well aware about Fanny. A fanny pack is something different. It's the front bum, I guess. But it's a fanny pack everywhere else, so I think it's fine. It's not swearing. I know a lot of English people get offended when you say fanny. But it is what it is. Dan says, I noticed I was on the E in membership videos. Well, there you go. Don't complain. Tobias. Picard's original body is super magnet for the Nexus. Could be. Could be why they grabbed him. Him and Kirk specifically. They were both in the Nexus.
Super magnet. It's very dramatic.
Yes.
Shall I start a poll as well?
Sure. Go for it. Melissa Jericho says 35 months as a member, and that's the ship I get. I don't know what ship you got, so it's all random. It's not like we're holding anything against you.
We don't pick, and therefore it's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, things swap, so it's fair.
What rank are you, Melissa Jericho? I'll take a look and see if I can find you here. But yeah, it's all randomized. We don't.
I'm playing the video so you can.
Oh.
Yes.
I already did my whole spiel about it, but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Check it out, guys. There's the fleet video, and see whose name is where. If you guys are a member, you can see what ship you're serving on. Yeah, looking forward to having more people join as well. It's always great to add new ships to the fleet and have these really cool animations you guys can enjoy and see your names associated with. We really appreciate all of you guys. Your support is very welcome. Let's see. Sergeant Montgomery, or Mako, at $5.
Thank you.
It says Resurrection. Picard versus Locutus in epic final battle. Vadic is controlled by Section 31 agents with a cure for the new virus that evolves them into solids. Interesting. Let's see what this poll is that we just got posted here. You guys can go vote on. Which theory do you think is more likely as to why they took Picard? Borg Nexus Energy or Picard Borg Tech? Very good poll. I like it.
I'm not saying either are true, but those are two that are resonating, I think, with the community the most as the bigger theories. So
we have to figure out too how Jack ties into it all. They still want Jack as well, so yeah, it'll be an interesting discussion.
Just don't think about the portal weapon anymore, because it ain't worth damn anything, and that's a-okay. But yes, guys, we have more ships in the fleet video lined up. So if anybody would like to be a captain, you'll make us redo the entire damn video to be a captain. I'm very excited about that because there are some fun other eras, and I will say as soon as we get a version of the new Intrepid, we will be plugging that right in as well. You know, it's not like it's done or anything, or even started or anything, but if and when, eventually put Klingon ships as well at some point. There needs a bit more R&D with plaque. So if you guys end up wanting to collect them all, you might be a Klingon warrior at some point with a Klingon plaque, maybe Andorian, maybe a Vulcan. You know, there are the fleets to be in, Stuart. I mean, who's to say you might not one day become a Borg drone in the Trekyards fleet?
The list of Jericho says he's on the Melbourne and it gets destroyed at Wolf 359. Well, this is an alternate fleet. These they don't have the destinies that are associated with them. So
Well,
you saved the ship somehow.
And even if they do, if it's still in the outro, you're still alive.
Yeah.
Because it's before the thing got blown up, which means for any of these ships, like the A or the Reaver gets destroyed, the same logic applies. Therefore, anything NX I'm sure gets destroyed. The Excalibur gets destroyed. Yeah, but they all had long service before that. Especially Melbourne, if that was sent out in Star Trek 3 up until TNG's like a good 100 years. That's pretty good for You Probably Aren't Dead amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. Ozzy Medeiros, $2. Good old-fashioned Klingon technology cloaking device. I think he said superior Klingon technology.
He did.
But,
ooh, I wonder if that cloak's going to play in a big part of the season. I hadn't even considered that. So you would think they could detect it, but I mean...
Well, I think there might be one or two idiosyncrasies with it that we're still going to hear about.
Well, as long as it's not
see.
as long as it's not a D12 bird of prey, because otherwise you can do a thing to make it turn off and generations it. Although I will say, and I had this debate with someone the other day, a lot of, I think phones and cameras are a good equivalency. When you buy a new phone, the camera is certain quality, but after you have updates, they improve it significantly. Always happens. My phone's better than how I got it. They refine the algorithm, they use it, they know how to use it better, etc. Do you think then that if you were, so obviously I have the Samsung Galaxy line, if you were to get the Galaxy S3 and properly looked at how to optimize the app, optimize the camera lens, would it be, how much better would it be than when it launched? Could you improve it significantly? Old tech, but with new eyes.
With new eyes?
Well, I mean, the camera's the eye, like the new software to extrapolate the hardware, etc.
Oh, new software to help. Okay.
Yeah, because you update the phone after a year. The camera's better. It's the same hardware, so the hardware is more capable than you think it is. So could you go back and get an old phone, and actually properly plug in knowledge and improve it significantly?
I think you could. Yeah,
you could too. You wouldn't. I wouldn't. But if you did,
I wouldn't think that you couldn't do that. Put it that way. That
so
seems like the most natural thing to do.
So my allegory, of course, is Geordi and Worf. I mean, if the entire team says, right, we've got this bird of prey cloaking device, how much can we improve it based on our modern knowledge? I would assume a significant amount. I would assume, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have limitations, but yeah, different things you could tweak and that you've learned over the years. Sure.
Yeah. I'm just... Mm-hmm. Anyway, what's the chat saying?
Grant McGregor throws in $10 and says, just want to point out it now.
Yep.
When I have the brief break. In Star Trek First Contact, it was established Picard has a psychic link with the Borg, so maybe Jack is having the Borg talk to him. I don't buy that Jack has any connection to the Borg just through semen from Picard. Oh, I had to say that. I don't know. I don't buy that 100%. I think there's something else going on with Jack that's related to the changelings. So.
One also, it wouldn't be red, it'd be green as a visual cue to look Borg. That's just how you tell those sort of subtleties. So red implies something, but not Borg. Or the tendrils would be, you could see a construction like nanoprobes, like hardware versus like growths. It's more organic than that. That's why A472 makes more sense. Fluidic space could maybe red now, etc., etc. There's things you could do with that.
Yeah. JB throws in $5.
Thank you.
I think it has to do with the Ironic syndrome, as Jake has it also, or as Jack has it also, and we're after him.
That is very possible.
Could be. I'm Eric Martin, who's usually on here. His theory is that they want the aromatic syndrome to infect everybody in Starfleet because there's no cure for it, and so they're using the transporter technology. That's why Ro was opposed to using the transporters. That's why they're putting people as transporter chiefs. Mm-hmm. More people you can beam and just give them aromatic syndrome. But my counter to that was you don't need Picard for aromatic syndrome. Other people have it. It is rare, but unless you're trying to link Picard again with the destruction of the Federation. Because Battle of Wolf 357, he was very much, a pivotal part of that, and a lot of people blame him for that. So if you want to have like karma, I guess, against him, and have him be the one that infects the whole Federation with that.
Mm.
Maybe. Just seems like a little bit of a far fetch for me, because aromatic syndrome is not like exclusive to him, you know.
Well, all we know is that it's rare. I don't remember in All Good Things how much they went into it. It's not curable and it's rare. But what if it's 1 out of every 20 million? What if they don't know anybody else that has it that's still alive? I mean, there could be a logical reason for it's so unbelievably rare that they only have access to Jack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could see that being, or even, what if it is the Aromatic Syndrome and there were others? And I'll wait for you to. I think it's actually an interesting theory. Let me wait on it.
Yeah, I said Wolf 357. Sorry, guys, I said it wrong. 359.
Well,
my brain.
The other battle. It's the other battle. Okay, think about this for a second. What if it is Aromatic Syndrome and it is explicitly that because they want to genetically work with it, and they have grabbed others and they've all died in the process through the experimentation, and he just happens to be the next one on the list.
Okay.
Why
are they pursuing Jack then?
Because he's the last person they know that have it. They've killed their last 5 subjects who had it.
Okay, and then so they thought they'd get Picard's body just
well, actually they got Picard's body before, but that might be a tertiary. Maybe they already had that, and then they needed a live specimen. They found out, because I could see them being so elaborately risk everything, Vadik, if they've already killed like 30 people with the syndrome, and there's only so many people in the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, but it would explain, they're desperate. They had to get the bodies well in case it helped. It didn't, but,
The thing is, maybe they infected Jack with it, let's say, and it's a different strain of it. That's why it's showing it in Jack so much earlier, so much younger. Because they don't want it to kick in on everybody when it's like they're in their later life.
Oh, okay. Ooh, interesting.
Maybe that would explain some of the visions and stuff, because they snagged him for some experimental medical.
So in fact, they're weaponizing this virus.
Yes.
This genetic disease, and because they got Picard first. No, they got.
Yeah, there's many examples, many chances over the years to have got, DNA from Picard at some point to work with it.
Yeah, but if the plan was new changeling plan, they wouldn't necessarily access stuff that was. No, that's actually very interesting. Yeah, because we know they went after Jack first, then they got the weapon at Daystrom because they used the weapon after the break. They talk about it as if they're close together. That's interesting because if it makes people have hallucinations, and maybe that's their ultimate FU. You infected us with a virus.
Yeah, well, that's what it seems like. That's why Worf brought it up. There's scars on both sides, or things where both sides are ashamed of.
But why aromatic syndrome?
That's specific to Picard. I don't know. Scott says Jack's aromatic syndrome does not explain sleeper agent vibes. No, it totally doesn't. We're not saying that's what that's about. That's something else
in the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's linking it to the changelings. But
this is a big topic, guys. We'll get there. But Captain Corky, then you can read super chats. Captain Corky says, "Hi guys, got my daughter with me again. We might actually have to get her a computer of her own Trekyards account. Thank you, Samuel, because now that's all she's asked for. Be a captain." That's up to you, Captain Corky, or make your new account. You could have a captain, your daughter's name, tomorrow if you wanted. You could even put her on Enterprise, possibly, if you go for Admiral. Birthday present? Don't do that, that's ridiculous. But I mean, say you could. And also Eric says he tweeted me a picture of the Stranger Worlds, how it could end. Yes, it was fun. It's just hard to get your hopes up when it's not gonna happen. Unless a new showrunner comes in, then they'll definitely do it.
I want to see this picture because it sounds intriguing.
Send it to Stuart. It's a fun little picture, but it's too fan.
Just tweet it to me at Captain Foley. Philip DeHollick throws in £5. I think that Picard will be forced back into his old body to save Jack. Riker said that you would burn the world for your child. Shaw said this. Wolf 359.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Picard ending up back in his body as a I was like, here you go, fans. He's not a robot anymore. With possibly a cure as well. So yeah, I was just holding his consciousness temporarily, but he's going to eventually be back to Picard being alive. I think Terry might do something like that.
I mean, it was only a year and a half ago, and if they put him on stasis instantly, I've not heard people talk about that yet. Literally undoing Picard season 1. But I don't know. Oh my goodness. I mean, it'd also be symbolic of what happened to Data. Sort of. But I guess if you're allegorying it, it'd be Data want to go back into B4. Which won't work. I don't know. I don't think Picard would want to. I think Picard would want to be as healthy as possible now and live longer if he could to hang out with Jack. I'm sure he's pissing on Jurati's grave saying, "Damn it, Jurati, you could have given me 10 more years. I could have hung out with my son. You made me die at the normal age, which was going to be 2 weeks from now." It's like, darn it, Jurati. Why you do what you do?
That would annoy the shit out of me too.
Now you're a Borg. You're going to live forever. You're actually now thousands of years old. Damn it, Jurati. I'm a human, not a Borg. Well, I mean, it's more complicated than that.
Matthew Lebner throws in $10. Thank you so much, Matthew. Crusher did something to Jack as an infant that was not on the up and up to stabilize condition and stayed away to protect. Picard did something post-Dominion War that we will find out tomorrow. Beverly having done something, all the clues that she's been dropping say otherwise, even when she's just talking to Jack. I mean, she probably wouldn't want to admit it to them, but I doubt that's the case. But it's a very interesting idea for sure. Like, she was the one responsible for... She's the reason he was having nightmares, because she tried some kind of treatment that didn't turn out right, and she feels guilty about it, and she never went back to try it again. And then now has found out that the visions have returned. Maybe I could buy that. But
although briefly, Wade says, "I've really enjoyed all your content this past week. A sincere thank you." You're welcome. It's been a lot. No, that's really, really interesting. The problem is you've got to do it in a way that doesn't ruin Beverly, because genetically modifying a child is sometimes perceived to be bad. Because the joke obviously being is that in Voyager, they explicitly had an entire episode about them genetically modifying away an illness in Myrrell, Paris, and then going as far as, well, can we change her further to be more not like me? So if Bev does see a different illness, then we shouldn't judge her for wanting to cure him early in life. That's fine. But she's so damn sincere in all of her words. She's been very, very open book with everybody. I would be shocked if there was a twist with her being negative. I would be fine if there was a flashback to her, something happening unintentionally, he gets infected or something, and she happens to be there, she doesn't know. Or a true side effect, but I don't think she would know. None of her reactions would lead to that. I feel like Terry actually talked to them about their character journey, so they had to be on board, and he was proud they were. So to suddenly have her be more of a villain at the end, I don't think that would structurally make sense. So it's possible, but boy, that'd be
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Sylvia G. Sylvia's here. Or they want to use Picard's body as a shell for something or someone else.
You could kill anybody and use their body, and it's fresher meat. Unless
she said something or someone else as well.
Because I could sort of maybe buy that maybe his remaining Borg implants allow his something to happen to his body that's special. But to see a reanimated Picard, that's even worse than killing him, is bringing a reanimated Picard corpse. Well,
I think a lot of people have made the thing that he heard the Borg, he was linked with them in First Contact. Mm-hmm. The hints that are dropped is the fleet is all interlinked, so they want Picard's body back with the Locuta, with the. Okay, I've been fucking up my words today, and my memory's awful because I said Wolf 359. So sorry, today's a bad day for that. I'm sick and I'm tired. Anyway, So they're going to use the Locutus aspect of his body to link the ships that are all linked together, all the Federation ships, and control them. Therefore, our heroes are going to have to use all the museum ships because they're not linked together to save the day and fight off the fleet. That's what somebody online had said. I think that's kind of silly that they'd be using Picard's body to control the fleet. But again, it very much reflects back to 0359 because Picard was destroying the Federation and a lot of hard feelings, as we saw with Shaw, in that regard. So if they do it again with Locutus, or the body of Locutus, that'd be quite interesting. But I don't find it viable as a plan. It just seems kind of off because he lived so long with all those nanoprobes and stuff in his body. They didn't really affect him. Sure, he heard whispers every once in a while, but I kind of got the feeling that after First Contact, that kind of subsided. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, taking over the fleet? The problem I have with that is because it's just Prodigy again. It's the fleet being taken over again.
But we also had
the same storyline.
We also had two Rikers coming to the rescue in Lower Deck Season 1 and Picard Season 1. So with a lack of communication, these things do happen. It's like the Defiant being in 2 shows, and Okuda show up in 3 shows, at least in some form.
Okuna, yeah.
Thank you. It's interesting because you'd have to dial it down a bit. There is lots and lots of X-Borg. We have an entire cube of them.
Not one so important they named it.
Well, there you go. No,
that was another hint. That was another drop. I think.
And I could definitely see, because almost entirely no drones ever talked in any of Voyager until they were disconnected, whereas the Locutus talked by default. So if you retcon it, which we've already retconned, Best of Both was a virus that never was there, which is weird. Changing the numbers around in the navigation, whatever. So if they retcon that Locutus had extremely specialist hive control communication subroutines installed in his body, which they couldn't remove, okay, I could buy that. He was extremely special, fine. And maybe he's meant to be a proto-queen, etc. Fine, possible. Control the entire fleet through a Picard's corpse. I mean, it would be okay if they removed his nanoprobe tech, if they literally butchered the corpse and took out the nanoprobe tech. Then at least it's not literally his corpse, it's the tech. Possibly. But then how does Jack factor in at all? Because that's the real reason for everything. Everything else is secondary.
Well, that could link into his, the Bourne ultimatum thing. The changelings have control over Jack through some means. So if they can get Picard to control the fleet, they can control Jack. He somehow, with a mind connection or something biological, you link Jack and Picard together, you could literally have control over everything. It's kind of a stretch, but him being able to go all like sleeper agent like that it's hinting at something. And that's what they're after, specifically with him. I just don't know how that ties into the Picard thing. So,
if you want to read NZ Fade's recent comment, I found it quite funny.
Picard Season 3 is like a game of chess. Seasons 1 and 2 were more like snakes and ladders. Indeed. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think I prefer in general Jack being an anti-changeling agent because, you send an anti...
Engineered by who?
Well, Starfleet.
Or the actual changelings from the Great Link. Because this is the breakaway faction, so...
Because you don't just kill changelings. Eddington couldn't do that with hand-to-hand force. He knew their vibe, he knew their strength, he could match their strength, so it was doing something to him physically as well. Because a changeling is not a real boy. They're stronger, they're faster, they're more capable. They can become dust, whatever. So I like the idea that he was modified to fight them, even just a couple of weeks ago. I could see him being injected with, and maybe during the Ilios time, maybe he was maybe he was found by a faction, and all his memories removed. Maybe he was injected with something because they knew the changelings were in play for a while now. Maybe even his Remote Syndrome links to it in some way. Maybe a different brain equals different ability set. maybe that triggered him, knowing that he might be grabbed for other reasons.
Well, okay. Tobias here says, now listen, mild spoiler. Terry Metalis wrote Deanna Troi to play a key role, ergo telepathy. Yes. She's going to be able to suss out who's a changeling and who's not, I think. It might tie in with how they're using his body. Maybe she ends up controlling Picard's co-opted body, but I don't like that.
It's also not really in her skill set. Not even like Sana can do that, and she was full Beta Z. Troy's only half.
Well, we have 191 people here and 95 likes. We're not at 100 likes yet, guys.
What?
Let's get up to 120.
What do you mean, Stuart?
150. Hit that like button.
How is that even possible? We want to see a giant, epic, amazing like spike. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I know you want to see it too, Stuart.
And I want to give you guys some props. You guys are really bringing some good ideas. We appreciate that. So definitely helps with the conversation. Andy Johnson throws in $2.
Thank you.
Badek did have Shinzon's dagger. No, she fucking didn't. She had a dagger that was exactly like him that's been used in Star Trek probably a few times, and it's definitely just a generic fantasy knife for something futuristic and cool. There's going to be no tie-in with the knife in Shinzon.
Yeah, she had a dagger.
Yes.
And also, I could see the Remans just selling them for funsies.
It's wholesale.
You want to kill anybody else that isn't Reman?
Check out this knife we got from Earth.
That we got from Stargate SG-1.
Yeah. Eric Skelton, $5. They'll steal Prodigy's idea, plug a Locutus brain into the fleet network, and turn the ship parade against the Federation. Darn, you just said it.
But it's not Locutus brain, though. Locutus is a sub-AI that's also being controlled by the Hive. Because in theory, the Borg Queen was on the ship. Like, he's not an entity, he's an amalgam.
That link? It's that link. It's the whispers that he was getting in his brain. There's something special about his brain, which the synth doesn't have, that they want the body for.
Well, that's just the intercommunication node. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a receiver, which is fine. They obviously couldn't remove it. That's why it's fine. But the idea of him, he can't be Locutus. Just he would need a lot of stuff, unless I was like holodeck programmed him or whatever.
Classic for real. Picard's body is presumably on board the Shrike. Yeah.
No.
I mean, Portal Tech was, so why not?
Because the Shrike was willing to be destroyed to get Jack. You don't steal.
But she wasn't willing to be destroyed. She gave in and said, "We will do what you say."
But it's the boss's plan, and the real thing they stole was Picard, so they wouldn't let that be destroyed on the Shrike.
I guess.
Yeah, there's gonna be another ship, or it could spin Earth, or Stuart. I worked it out. Right now, the big amorphous blob, are you ready?
Yes.
Is Guinan. And guess where the evil baddie's location is?
10 forward.
Guinan's bar. To save on budget.
Yeah.
So every episode there's a scene there. The final episode, the Great Confrontation, the bar.
Indeed.
We gotta save those monies to pay the TNG cast. They took all of our set money. All of it.
Bradley Thomas, $5.
Yes.
Do you think the Jurati and the Borg shared the same ship linking technology with Starfleet after season 2? I think the Jurati and the Borg shared the ship linking technology with Starfleet. No. Well, see, the Forge was opposed to this idea, which he was writing a memo about Frontier Day as well, his third memo. So it sounds like he's a Karen that just complains about everything. Those newfangled technologies, gosh darn it. Nah.
Go watch Battlestar Galactica, you fools.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that. I like that they're chalking up to some of these changes in the fleet being like from changing infiltration over the years. Like they've been in there for a long time, making subtle little changes, getting these stupid ideas approved, where people like Geordi are like, "That's not a good idea." I kind of like that, but I don't think that has anything to do with the Borg at the end of season 2. No.
Well, that would be a really, really fun idea if they gently retcon. It's new eras, right? If they do say that we assume the changelings are just here to play, and we learn they've actually been here for 12 years. Something ridiculous, you know. There's a great scene where Picard's like, damn it, why do your changelings leave the link and fight us now? Now? We were here since that day. What? We've been changing the course of Federation for 27 years. You remember that Romulan thing that happened with Romulus? We're the ones destroyed. We're the ones that made the synths go mad. You know, you could. It wasn't Jat Vash. Who? Do you see season 1? No. I try and forget season 1. Yes. And here's Narissa. She didn't die in the Borg cube. What? Who the hell are you? And just Narek appears and there's this giant. What the hell? Maybe Narek's the villain, Stuart. Our favourite incest character from season 1.
Yes.
What do you think?
Andrew Hess is yelling. Not everything is a retcon.
Well, have you seen the show though? Look, they're adding lots of stuff in, so you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not on board with that. Mike Hill throws in £2. I have a theory. The boss is Paul Wraith. It's the first time we've heard that. A lot of people say it's also Gul Dukat who came with Paul Wraith because he's got like the blob that is the bad guy had like the spoon thing on his forehead in the one. So interesting if true, but
the problem with Par Wraiths is that, you know, they haven't set up at all. Not really, like visually a little bit, but to be this far in, it's like,
yeah. Hypno Amber says no Paw Ray is too obscure for TNG. It's barely a DS9 thing. Chris Mumfett basically said as much on a podcast. Who the hell was Chris Mumfett? Is he related to Boba?
Or Django?
Possibly.
Or any of the Fets.
Eric Skelton puts in $2 and says this season has more bar scenes than Cheers. Hey, you need Morn sitting at the bar. When Morn walks into the holodeck, I'll be like, Morn! And then you'll have Diane there saying Mormon, saying his full name. Gibbs puts in $5. Maybe Jack was infected in the past by something masking as aromatic syndrome. This may be why the changelings want Jack. Thoughts? That's the other thing. Like, this is a breakaway faction. They've obviously evolved, as they've said. Could it be that they want Jack to either reverse their evolution because it's not great, or is somehow Jack and Beverly responsible for their evolution, and they want revenge? I don't know. There's lots of ideas around that as well, and I don't buy many of them, honestly. 180 of you here, 124 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get to 250. I think that's very doable right now. 26 more likes. We can do it. Also consider joining the channel. We've got no new members during this live, but if you want to be part of our fleet, you can click join and join the channel. Get a ship, get assigned to a ship randomly. If you're a captain, you get your own ship. There are some hero ships there. Those are admirals. So lots of good perks, benefits, and stuff from hitting that join button. Go do so, and then you get to watch your fleet video at the end of all of our videos. And it's quite long now, so it's quite an interesting little assortment of ships. Beautifully done by Samuel. They look fantastic.
And what's great is that if this had been the case for the previous clap video, it would have been longer than the clap video. Just saying.
The flap video. That sounds like something I don't want.
No.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna poll though, do a new option. We asked which theory do you think is more likely for why they stole the Picard's body. Picard Bortek wins by a stonking majority at 70%, versus the next energy at 30%. Interesting.
Nice. Bill Barkley says, by the way, guys, is there any plushy Star Trek ships? Yes, there's a plushy TOS Enterprise, and there's also a plushy TOS Romulan Bird of Prey, both with light-up nacelles. I used to have the one, I had the Enterprise, but it got destroyed in the flood. The Great Flood. It's very sad. But yes, there are. I don't know which company makes them either. But
The Great Flood of 2020.
yes, the Great Flood of 2020. Jack may be the only one alive, but Picard still has it in his DNA, even if his body is dead. Yes, and it is genetic, it is hereditary, so the Irumodic syndrome could be the key here. But maybe the changelings found a way to tap into the Irumodic syndrome part of his brain to control Jack, and they want to do the same thing with Picard to link to the fleet, perhaps. I don't think Picard controlling the fleet is going to be the thing they want his body for, but I'm just trying to... Unique things about Picard, the Borg is definitely one of them.
Is the idea of Picard versus Picard genuinely a thing that Terry's going to want? As well, if you're going to go to Locutus, because bringing back Borg elements of Picard's being is still basically Picard versus Picard. Is that a thematic grab that feels like the epic TNG movie that we ended on? He's trying to give a genuine finality. This will be the end of their story. Is that the end of the story?
No.
I don't think so either. Doesn't sound right.
But Picard getting his body back and still being alive at the end.
That's a heavy retcon.
So actually being like Picard again. That's something the fans I think would appreciate. So
yeah, no, that is true.
Yeah. Well, we're only 11 likes away now from that 150, guys. 11 people have to hit that like button.
Well, also another thing that I thought a while ago that someone just reminded me of. If Picard is the secret to control the group, why the hell isn't Data Law Lol Body the secret to control? How is that not more useful? Is controlling a security net on the most secure black site in the Federation versus just Picard's body? Why do you not grab the artificial life form that has all this ability set? Is that not more useful in general terms?
I want to say no. I want to say it would be harder for them to have snagged him specifically.
That's the thing, yeah.
Just because he did recognize Riker and those guys, so kind of let them in more or less, where it could have been a lot difficult.
But if it's the key, I know what you mean, though. If it's the key success, though, I don't think it being a bit tricky is going to dissuade them. You know, they've got universe destroying plans. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, it's too difficult. They're just going to just do it. You know.
Yeah. So
they don't need a computer system because he was right there. That's what I'm saying.
Justin 34 says, stop the Robo Picard hate. It makes no difference. We're not saying we hate the Robo Picard. We're just saying that...
Yes, he means the chat.
Oh. Classic for Real says, I'm not appreciative. I kind of like the idea of Picard's being immortal.
Well, he's not.
Anton's saying the Golem isn't immortal is fake news.
They say it in season 1. He'll die the exact same time he's going to die anyway, just of natural causes versus of disease.
Yeah.
No,
disease. You can argue disease is natural causes.
You could, but you could also argue it sucks. Just to ignore that part of the biology.
Jessica, yeah, I agree. Let's hope they stick the landing. Well, so far it's all lining up to be really great, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, they have new twisty things almost every episode, so there's so many, and it feels as if we're coming to the last chapter, but we've still got 5 more? No, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 more.
Yeah.
Yes. So, with an epic 2-part finale, which might be longer, I would certainly love if, like Stranger World, the last episode's like an hour and 20. That'd be amazing. Because 250, yeah. I mean, if they're both 65 minutes, hey, 75 minutes, hey, whatever. So they can still do a lot. But now we've got to give Geordie some stuff to do and Troy do some stuff to do. Because they've been not given stuff to do.
Well, Geordie's stuff to do is going to be either getting the museum ships all up and running or finding a way to de-link the fleet so the fleet doesn't get compromised. That's going to be his thing. And Deanna is going to be the changeling detector. And or the dead Picard controller. Ugh. Yeah.
The problem with that, though...
I just love your son.
It's like, yes, but it isn't... The characters aren't just being their TNG roles. Geordie wouldn't want to come back just to be Mr. Engineer, I'll fix the ships and get... That's old Geordie. He needs to be with his family, which might be enough to do it. Just saying, LeVar, you're going to fix stuff. Oh, with your family, huh? Like, that might be enough for a grab, but it needs something else to do to kind of make it meaningful in the way that he was very excited. It can't be the same stuff again and again. Same with Troy, it's got to be something a little bit different at least. Even though Beverly is sort of doing the same role, because they've got to balance it with the same role versus an interesting role, because you know, you're not going to make Beverly suddenly a warrior, really. You can have a scene, but she's a doctor. She's been a doctor for 40, 50 years. She's not going to stop being a doctor, really. Worf, same thing. Riker, same thing. So you're still going to have Geordie fixing stuff, absolutely. But they want that secondary thing. And, you know, Worf gets pacifism. Riker gets family man, sad times. They all kind of get family... Actually, all of them are family people. Is that just the storyline they pitched everybody? You all get to be parents? I mean, they never did that. Except Gates, who did it all the time.
Passing on the legacy of your characters to the next generation, literally.
The next generation.
I mean, maybe, but Bill Barkley, doesn't that dead body of Picard look young? Nope. Look at his neck, man. That's old Picard.
Unless they took it to the Baku planet and it de-aged a few years.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, well, actually, could the Baku planet reanimate the body? Like, not necessarily consciousness, but...
The body, maybe, but yeah, I was going to say, not the... not his consciousness. You can't just take the dead bodies there and like, bring them back.
Is that an interesting idea, then?
It is.
So
that was mentioned as well. That was mentioned as well, the whole breaking the Prime Directive to get some shagging on Baku. Like, they've dropped a lot of hints and references to other things that might play in later, but it's kind of hard to say.
Well, yeah, when they post in 9, 10, 12 hints, it's like...
Yeah.
But which one is real?
Dave throws in £2. Do you think Section 31 being so widely known is an issue? Yes. It's incredibly stupid. Somebody asked earlier how Section 31 got the body of Picard. Well, I'm sure they just buried it on that planet. I don't think Starfleet came back for it necessarily, so it's just out there in the open somewhere. Because we speculated what happened to his body as well. Now we know it got scooped up at some point. But
and for Picard's body, there's no way in hell he's been buried on a random planet we can't say the name of because it's too difficult. Like, you get... Being buried is the final resting place of your mortal body, etc. You don't... You'd be buried in his house. You know, he'd be buried at either a fleet cemetery or in a chateau. His family home. You wouldn't be buried on a random planet. That's why the Kirk thing's so ridiculous, because of course he'd be taken by the Farragut and brought to his, you know, maybe to Carol's family. You know, Carol, her sister, you know, I'm saying in theory, you know, his next of kin of the closest ilk. Or, you know, Spock.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, so he was around. He might want the body a bit more than the coyotes. And this was actually a plot point, I believe, in the Star Trek bring Kirk back, but Spock went and got Kirk. Because, of course, Kirk got Spock. Yeah. Because there's a stupid place to bury him on Genesis.
On Genesis? You mean on... Oh, yeah.
There was a stupid place, so I could imagine Spock saying, F this! Logic dictates I bury him anywhere else apart from the shithole he died in. No offense, shithole. Wait, why the hell... you don't get buried where you die, otherwise how many people being buried in Vietnam war fields?
Yeah.
Like, you take them home, you give them funerals, you respect them, etc.
Bill Barkley says this. What we didn't see at Section 31 storage, I'm curious about. That was yesterday's conversation.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember seeing your name, Bill. I don't know if you were here for that, but yeah.
Yeah, everything. Oh, but it's true. The poll.
Oh, well, which theory do you think is more likely as to why they took Picard?
Yes.
Picard's aromatic syndrome, or Picard Jack as spy weapon.
Go
vote. It's very close with 88 votes. So go put in your thoughts, guys. 215 of you here.
Yeah, so you could reinvent the wheel with this choice.
Let's get up to 180 likes, though, with 217 of you now. Hit that like button if you have not done so already.
Just click it. But only once. If you click it 4 or 5 times, it'll be ruined. Just saying.
ETR Triad. Has anybody or anything taken Picard's body in any novel? Not that I'm aware of, no.
There hasn't been that many novels released in 2 years.
About this time period.
I mean, I don't even think in general there's been that many released.
I mean, a few.
Yeah, a couple. There's one that had Riker and Troy. But then again, I don't think Terry's going to say that novel's canon. He's going to say, I don't want this to be canon. I don't care. It's a book. Some guy wrote it, or some girl wrote it. I don't care. That's the problem with novels. If you... They don't matter, honestly. They're lovely, but some author pitched an idea, they got some money, they wrote it, sold, moving on. You know? That said, obviously, if they're old novels, they go on old eras and they do side stories, and people might put them back in, like Mike, or Man, obviously. But innately, they don't matter until they make it into the main show. It's like my fan films, right? After my films, I try and fix, link, connect, retcon things to make it make more sense. Obviously, isn't canon, never going to be, never should be, but I can still try to show my representation of what would happen, etc. So that's the book, like the Borg whale probe stuff. Like, it's a possibility. It was thought through. Doesn't mean it's canon, obviously, but there's logic, etc.
Yeah, ETR Triad, though, says, so does Section 31 control Daystrom or just house stuff in it? As we speculated yesterday, they probably have, taken over, 1 or 2 areas of it. I don't think it's necessarily all Section 31. And I don't think everybody knows that Section 31 has stuff there, including the Daystrom people. They might be... Mm-hmm. It's hard to say, but with Section 31, the way it should work, it wouldn't be a whole facility of just their stuff. They'd have it mixed in with stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And Dan's mentioning books like the autobiographies of Kirk and Picard and Janeway and Sisko.
Yeah.
But I mean, they already retconned the Janeway one from Prodigy. Something Prodigy didn't align with it, because obviously they write a new Janeway. So they're great, but I don't think Terry read the entire biography of Picard and said, oh damn, I'm locked into the stuff in this book that most people haven't read. I think that when they do eventually a Sisko show, they'll use... It's like with the comics, right? All these weird Sisko comics. It's all fun. It's not meant to be taken seriously. You know? He got lore and Spock and all... It's like, yeah, okay. Sure he did. He's having fun, but the writers aren't going to say, damn it, I've got to include lore now in my Sisko story, but Brent died 20 years ago. Oh no, it's not going to equate, and that's okay. The small medium things were fun.
Yeah. Mechator says, wouldn't a changeling mind be too alien for Dana to read, similar to how the Shellyak are? We know from DS9 the walks in. I couldn't read Odo, and she was full Vitazoid and full parts of Dana. Yes, that's exactly how they're going to know who's not a changeling. Can you sense that person? No! You're a winner! You're the changeling! Ding, 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 ding. Shoot it! exactly what she's going to be used for. Somebody mentioned earlier she might be able to find out what's going on with Jack and his like born identity shit, his sleeper agents thing. She might be able to see a link there or trace it to whoever's controlling him or whatever the situation is. Yeah, she's going to be very, very, very helpful, I think.
Yeah, it's like Deanna walks into a room of androids. She'll know who's not an android.
Yep.
Instantly. It's the lack of something. Which is exciting, actually. You know, she's the human lie detector. So yeah, just walk her aboard, and she sees a 10 staff officers in front of her. She can't sense any. Run, you know. It's not what she does know. It's what she does. She's like the sword in Lord of the Rings, the purple glowing sword. The orcs are there. It's like, oh, there must be a changeling here.
Yeah. TR Triad. I'm actually feeling super pumped right now that my question was answered. Geeking out.
Yeah. Hey, good questions.
Yeah. Bring the theories, bring the questions. We want to talk about them, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just the two of us gets a little stale after a while. Plus, it's like talking in a vacuum. We want your input. We want things to talk about that we wouldn't necessarily think of. Because you guys really throw us off on tangents sometimes. So
it's as if we're a community.
Well, we are.
Yeah. And you never know, they might be watching this and saying, as in the team, and say, oh my god, they got it right, and then they tangented and they got it very wrong.
Then they quickly like re-script everything and refilm it all. And
I'm sure Patrick and Todd will be up for that, film some new scenes.
Yeah. That's why it says it's red. Probably Michael Burnham from the future. I mean, hey, yeah, the Red Angel link. There you go.
Well, technically, it'd be Michael Burnham from the past, because she only had the suit for like 10 minutes, then she blew it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2. What entity from TNG could be keeping Jack alive? I don't know if anything's keeping him alive.
It's a pointed question. Nothing?
It's Nagil.
Yeah. That'd be a bold choice. Or it's the reuse of that space station that, well, it might be the first time the aliens, the gods to the planet. Them,
oh, yeah.
All of a sudden. But the Jack stuff, that's a good side tangent, because if it's all got to connect, obviously the 8472 etc. is the most logical biological connection, but has a link to Picard though.
Yeah. The Dave Cullen show says Red Angel is behind the red door. Boom, spoiled.
Makes sense. Makes all the sense. It is the red door. It metamorphosed into Michael Burnham saying, hello! I'm here, everybody.
And when they open the door, they're going to let Discovery back from the future close enough to their own time. And it's going to be like, yay, Discovery's here. That's where they're going to end Picard. It's like, look at Discovery and its crew are survived.
So what you're saying, Stuart, is that just like Doctor Who, Discovery is sending... Oh yeah, just like Doctor Who, Discovery is sending back a signal into the past for someone to grab hold of so that they can be brought back in time like the Master and the Four, or the Gallifrey and the Nox. So all of a sudden, yeah, the Red Angels are going to pop through and Discovery will pop through and then recanonize it again. Yeah, maybe. Totally.
ETR Triad has joined the channel at the rank of Ensign. Thank you so much, Ensign
Absolutely
Triad.
Ensign, but
You will be, keep your eyes peeled for the videos like maybe this weekend or the beginning of next week. You'll be assigned to a ship. We kind of do that at the end of the week after our big live on Friday.
Well, it's very likely you'll get someone tomorrow as well, Stuart. So
yeah,
it might not get reset just for that.
So yes, but thank you for joining the channel. You will be assigned to a ship, so keep an eye out for your posting.
Hmm.
Murloc says the B4 Lord Datalal is an Synth Android Hybrid. Yes. Is that the new name? Before Lord Data, though.
Oh no! No, it's just a golem like Picard. There is no hybrid. It's just the exact same as Picard, but with a fake, synthetic brain engrams. Like, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And Discovery is wrong again. But again, alternate timeline. Who cares?
Dave Cullen show. Michael Burnham's mom is the central villain.
Mm.
She's the CGI head talking to Vatic. Guess that's why she wants Picard's body. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, she was the best part of that season. She was the standout actress. She was in all of them. She came from an alternate timeline. Maybe this is the universe control does win, but I don't know. Too many things. Too many nonsense things.
Anyway, 212 of you here. Awesome. 166 likes. We're still at that 180, guys. 14 more likes. 13 now. Hit that like button. Let's get up there.
Yeah, and Bill, I've deliberately not watched the trailer for next week, so I want to be entirely surprised.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
It's one of the few ones I'm like, nah, I don't want to even have context clues. Okay, let's go back to the simplicity of what is red in the Star Trek universe that would be noteworthy as a reference. Let's go back to basics. Is
red matter.
Red matter is very possible. Red matter causes black holes. We know that. It causes alternate universe travel. We know that.
There you go.
Maybe the changelings want to go back and make a new timeline where they win. Not bad.
Klingons? Anything Klingon is red? Interiors?
Anything Klingon is red.
Oh.
That's true.
Computer displays?
That is true.
What else is red? My agonizer is red.
Mm-hmm. The SanDisk logo is red. Could be a photo company from the past.
The mute button on my microphone is red.
The Kingston LED light from here is red. You know, we're really narrowing it down here, Stuart. Narrowing it down.
Bizarre collectors are red. Anyway, Keith Jeffrey, 1974, throws in £5. The red door opens and it's Alice Kurtzman in his beep chair like in Lower Decks.
Beep. Yes. And ERT.
Oh, right. They're kind of red.
They are. All good. I love you guys and the work. Just show some support. Thank you. We do try. We really do try. Yeah, Pyrwraiths definitely is a strong thing, but they're not organic though. So that doesn't link with the vines.
Yeah.
I mean,
could
unless
they're reaching out to become organic by linking with changelings. So the changelings are the It'd be interesting. They're non-corporeal. They made a pact with the changelings. They work together to evolve so that there's Pyrwraiths inside changelings. But those are the ones that can't form themselves. They're the unformed, undefined versions. Ooh, it's getting interesting now, you see. We come up with some really great ideas.
No,
Speaking of,
oh,
before we move on, ETR Triad, make sure you join the Discord so you can come and chat with all of us there.
Yes.
You just joined as an ensign, so.
Yes.
Anyway.
No, that's actually very interesting, having Pyrwraiths going inside changing bodies. That's actually very interesting. Because they're trying to get away, and it would certainly be the double DS9 if Terry loves DS9. Those, in theory, are the two villains, although the Pyrwraiths, I think, are almost non-existent in the storyline. It is interesting, though. That is quite interesting. You know, chicken or the egg, if one Pyrwraith made its way to the changing homeworld, or a secondary colony, and said, we want to get revenge, are you in? Or just text the Dominion phone call saying, you up? And they said, who dis? And they say, evil red flare being, who dis? Evil blob change being. And they made some sexy babies called Vatic, and
they swiped right.
They kept swiping until they found death-destroyingness. Well, maybe, and this is obviously getting a bit, not necessarily too far, but it's what if the plan is really, let's ignore entirely Jack and Picard for right now, as if they're not important at all, right? Let's ignore them. Okay.
Ignored.
Yep. What if, they can changeling body some Pyrwraiths, but they want to be epic, manic death control. And so it's not about the fleet coming together for the ships with the people. Because if they can descend a Par-Wraith storm of beings onto the entire fleet, take over all the bodies, they win. There's no one to fight, right? And then now they have, 2.5 million Par-Wraith entities have come out of the Celestial Temple's, prison district, and Bosch, they've got their own fleet. What do you think?
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
But I mean, Vadix already has said, we gotta free our brothers and sisters from wearing these ugly Federation faces or whatever.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, maybe it's about peace again. We can only bring peace by killing the Federation. We can't do it ourselves. But if you get Par-Wraiths to come in and cause havoc, maybe the Par-Wraith, maybe the change, maybe are the Par-Wraiths in the temple as well? Is that specifically a thing, or are they somewhere else?
I have no idea. I think they were just in the fire
I think they were
pits.
just in the fire pit too. So I'm just thinking there was an entire subplot about that Dominion fleet that got paused in the wormhole.
Yes, but that came back in Star Trek Online.
It did, but as is Icheb, and Icheb's alive, and Naomi's alive, and So let's say Stowe's not canon for a second. I know, right? Perish thought. Say then that that Par-Wraith got into the temple, found the Dominion in stasis. I mean, there's a changeling on one of them. I'd be fine with that. Maybe infected a changeling, managed to force their coming out of the temple, come out of the thing on the other side of the wormhole, and then they started making a pact then.
If that fleet does finally arrive, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yep. It's an old fleet though, but 50 cruisers still damn effective.
It's still come into play, yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. And they've now shown that they can actually make lots of 3D models of things. They can.
Well, let's see what the people are saying. Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2 and says Jack had symptoms since he was a child. Wesley/entity. I think that Wesley is reaching out to Jack, his brother. I don't know if that's what you mean, but you could just pop in and say hi. I'm Wesley Crusher. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Ensign Ricky, $5. I think back to the G.I. Joe episodes where Serpentor was created, taking all the DNA to make a super being. Would explain Kirk 2, Operation Phoenix. Why do they need Jack then? They just need Picard's DNA and Kirk's and just mush them together. Interesting. And yeah, I love the Serpentor reference there. That's good. That's good. The DNA from the world's greatest leaders of the past. That's all Samuel has to say about that. Silent Spaces. Anything else?
No, I'm just,
Silent Spaces, £10.
Thank you.
So Frontier Day must be a key moment. Will reanimated Picard give a speech? And also, Vadic will turn, and the Shrike and Museum ships will unite to take on the Changeling Starfleet ships. Yep, it's a distinct possibility. The non-linked museum. Again, as much as I'd love to see museum ships fly, I don't want them that to be into battle, because I have a feeling that the new Federation fleet might.
Goodbye, museum ships.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Oh, you like that? You like seeing that NX refit? There's lots more parts you can.
This is Terry in the writer's room. We're gonna make a cannon, and then I'm gonna destroy it. We're not gonna tell Doug. We're gonna send him a fake version of the episode, just like with I'm Your Father, and he's gonna watch it live. It's gonna get blown up. It's gonna be a hero shot. We're gonna hear Doug scream, and it's like, and then Terry had to take a mental health day because he went. Fans will love it. It's like, oh! Calm down.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued by the idea that they've said this explicitly, so that does help. They can replicate somebody on site. But what if they can't replicate synth bodies, and they can't replicate with? I mean, they obviously can replicate just on on readings. They've done it all. No, it's like I don't think that changeling on DS9, on Earth, went to DS9, saw O'Brien to go back to Earth. I doubt that, right? He's just some guy on Earth. That'd be a huge limit to their abilities. But if you do need to have that level of see them, vibe with them, whatever, then maybe, yeah, as someone else said, maybe it is a case of they need to make a replica of Picard because he is currently the most respected officer in Starfleet. Nice way to end the season. And I said this much earlier in our prediction batch of episodes, that it might be that they've worked out a way of actually transferring memories.
Yeah.
And so the brain cells are still being kept on ice enough to get. You know. But then why Jack? Obviously, Jack is the span. Maybe do two different plans. You know, two different plans are fine. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Jack might be a backup plan. Let's say plan A fails, the whole Picard body thing. Jack is the backup. Closer we can get to Picard without actually being Picard, maybe. But who knows? Are we pretending that Kirk's DNA is significant? Kirk was Kirk because of his drive and grit. I don't think Kirk's DNA is significant at all. Although a lot of people have watched our Kirk video which I personally don't believe. I wonder if they're going to build a synth body for Spot. No. We're almost at 180, guys. We're 179. Only one like away from 80 likes. We have 204 people here, so let's see how high we can get. How close to 200? Hit the like button.
Ah, dear me.
Plot twist, Jack Crusher. It's the ghost candle. Oh, good, Jack Crusher Senior. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously we've reiterated. You reiterated this at the start, and you've kind of gone off it. But the idea of all of the genetic double helixes in the credits, it could just be for the disease, or is it still for the modification? Talk about that for a second.
Yeah. Everything's kind of been hinted at in those end credits, right down to the song that was whistled. That is the notes, the musical notes. So I mean, yeah, there is a lot of genetic manipulation and DNA sequencing and stuff in those end credits. I think it speaks probably more to the modifications that were made either to Jack or to maybe they're planning on modifying Picard's body in some way as well.
What if the modification is not a past thing but a future thing? What if they actually have to mess up his DNA to save him or do something else?
Mess it up.
Well, as in like augment it in a way then and there that'll do something special. Like he's again the Black Ops training saying it's like, well, that's weird.
Here's what it is. Here's what happened.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm ready.
The changelings actually found the cure for aromatic syndrome.
Okay.
But they have no way of telling anybody unless they get Picard's body, reanimate it, cure it, and then send him back to the Federation saying, "Here you go, guys. Here's the cure to this awful disease."
Right.
Boom.
So, what you're saying is it was more of an ends justify the means. All the murders committed for the plan was all to help save the 75 people in Starfleet and the Federation and the Alpha Quadrant
and
the Milky Way. Everyone syndrome, yes. But see the logic. As long as they kill less than 75 people, they've made a net positive. And they only killed 16 people at the first facility, and they didn't. And Roe wasn't their fault. They do not count Roe. That wasn't their fault.
Ensign Ricky throws in $2 and says, Jack has Weapon X vibes, but not fully changed yet. Oh yeah, he definitely has those kind of things going on for sure. To the point where he blacked out and killed like 4 changelings. Didn't know they were all changelings, but
Did he not know?
Either he can detect changelings,
Yeah,
and kill them all, which is
Kill
a
them
secret
all.
weapon,
Jeez.
and it could be too that we're being red herringed a little bit. Could be that Jack was actually altered by Section 31, as we've said, kind of like a changeling detector.
I've said that. It's possible.
A special changeling agent, if you will. And that the changelings found out about this plan because the interrogator Section 31 officer found out, and now they're after Jack for specifically that reason. And maybe the way to stop him from being able to detect changelings and kick their asses is to get Picard's DNA and modify it so they can inject something into Jack to negate Section 31's. But why would Section 31 choose Jack to be a changeling killer? You know?
Well, because maybe he did a very cool mission. Because he's resilient. He's a man of many trades. He can do a lot of stuff.
That's true.
I mean, we don't know in any way the extent of... Well, no, we do, because... And you got to think, if it's all a setup, Picard did say, he's a terrorist to some, he's got these skills, he's known here and here and here. So maybe that was their way of telling us he does a lot, actually. He's got a lot of skills, you just don't really see him very much.
I like Ensign Ricky's thought here, $2. I think the aromatic syndrome is protecting Jack, to be honest. Could it be that they protecting Jack?
Ah.
So could it be that something activated in Jack's brain, but because of the aromatic syndrome, that is blocking the other thing from activating, but it also brought out the aromatic syndrome earlier than it should be. Like, it could be something like that playing out in Jack's head for sure. I like that, actually. But it could be the changelings got to Jack for some reason. They're trying to activate him, and they need to get him back because they realize something's stopping it. They realized it was aromatic syndrome, so they steal Picard's body to get the original DNA hereditary aromatic syndrome from his father, so they can come up with a cure, so they can cure Jack, and then use Jack as their weapon. Who knows? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if we go really simple with this, right?
No. We're way far beyond simple.
No, what if we go really simple with this, okay? What if Jack can't be copied? Something about his DNA actually stops him from doing it. How would be the
interesting.
And maybe, and it's purely like a one in a billion chance, or maybe it's the Nexus plus Baku planet plus Beverly. It just doesn't allow for a metamorphosis for whatever sci-fi reason, and they discover that in their, because I could see them wanting to maybe say, you know what, Beverly's worth swapping, let's find her. Here's the sun. Why can't it be the sun? What the hell? They go after him for that. Because if they work out how, they can just inject everybody, and now the changelings become 5,000% less effective. Now, until obviously they work out how to counter it, but they've got a plan. So really simple. Just massively simple. And then Irmotic linked to that, or they tried to do something that would kill him, and it made it, like I said, triggered it 40 years early. And then the double twist then would then be that that's actually a Section 31 plant. Maybe even as a, maybe, you got to think one step ahead. What if Section 31 found a changeling who wasn't a real traitor, who didn't really split into the new subset. He warned of the plan, and they knew you can't just attack a changeling group. They'll go underground. They will be ground, right? So instead, they say, right, well, they want Crusher. They can't modify Crusher. It's too obvious. They're going to modify Jack. And then once they get in, they can shoot stuff. So, what do you think? It's semi-convoluted, but also has a very strict logic to it. What do you think?
I'm going to give it the same reaction you gave mine. Right. So
Thanks,
anyway, what if Beverly is a changeling? So Jack is half changeling and half Jean-Luc Picard. No, why would you stop trying to make the fucking stop trying to make everybody a fucking changeling.
Jean-Luc.
They're not gonna make Beverly a changeling just because, and then have everything in this reunion means nothing. And somebody else said, what if Jack's part changeling, like Picard? They made a changeling pretend to be Picard, had sex with Beverly, so Jack's half changeling. What is the point of that? To get a hybridation, sure, but
wouldn't changeling sperm just go into goo
and then turn into goo? Yeah, exactly.
And they also said specifically there's no DNA in a changeling, so
yes, even in the blood. Yeah, there's no DNA sequence in the blood. Oh my god.
It'd be such an odd stance if they say, Jean-Luc, you know that night at the wormhole? Well, wormhole. At the waterfall. That wasn't Bev. What? It was me, Bev. No, changing. What? I'm changing Bev. What? Yes. And then I became other Bev. What? Who wrote this shit? Would be my reaction.
We killed Bev 30 years ago.
Yes.
20 years ago.
I've been holding a form for 30 years and it sucks. That's why my hair's not ginger. That's the twist.
What a twist.
Why is she not ginger? Because why is she not ginger, Stuart? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Because I thought ginger stayed ginger for most of their life. Because that's a...
Yeah.
How do you go from ginger to... And it'd be weird if
ginger is superior.
It'd be weird if she dyes her hair black. It's like, right. Why? Why is she dyeing her hair black? Bev, your natural hair colour's great. Keep it. Unless that was a hint the entire time. It can't be her because the changeling would just.
Well, lucky Cantrell 13. Jack was genetically altered to defeat the changelings.
Yep.
The changelings want Picard's body so they can reverse engineer the syndrome because the aromatic syndrome is the key to their defeat.
Okay. Why?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
How though?
Just a genetic anomaly that is going to be the I don't know. Give up at this point.
Then wouldn't the main changeling group... Well, maybe that's the reveal. Maybe it's not rogue changeling, maybe it's real changelings. And that's the twist. We thought they're rogue.
Maybe everyone's a changeling except for the changelings. Those are actually the real Federation.
Oh my god.
They're trying to retake the Federation because it was already overtaken by changelings. Dun dun dun.
Wow, I think you've just...
all of our heroes are changelings. Yeah.
Basically, you're saying we're redoing the Dead Planet Voyager episode. Yeah. The season ends with season 1 starting again, and it's real Picard waking up from a coma. It's like, what? And then they come out and it's like, oh my god, do you know what happened, Jean-Luc? No. Well, everybody was a changeling. It was crazy. Crazy. But that's the thing, though. It's such a small story.
Yes, the voices in Jack.
Wouldn't be that crazy. It's such a small relative story to other Trek.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense, Stuart. It wouldn't make sense. What a twist only goes so far.
Jack could simply be a stepping stone in human evolution. That's good too. Sure. And the changelings know this somehow. Maybe aromatic syndrome is like the thing that will turn humans from non-corporeal into non-corporeal beings in the future. So we need to all get aromatic syndrome.
So saying Jack is the first Q.
And he's not actually hallucinating. He's actually seen beyond this veil of reality that's as a corporeal being we are linked, we are locked into. So yeah, everybody with aromatic syndrome that is hallucinating is actually just almost accessing that part of themselves where they become non-corporeal. Like that episode of TNG where they were hunting that guy who's the next evolution was to become non-corporeal. The one where Geordi actually scored and did really well with a woman, and it was never fucking mentioned again. At the end of the episode, he had a good relationship with her, and it's just forgotten about the next fucking episode. You remember that one?
Yeah. And he struck out with another woman 2 episodes later. It was weird.
Yep.
I mean, the idea of him seeing another dimension or another timeline or something, actually seeing it it's not hallucination, it's real, it's interesting for sure. He's being sent signals. He's picking up on, because then you could possibly justify that he was not necessarily played as a marionette, but he was, put on autopilot by someone else controlling him to fight those changelings. I mean, maybe it's Species A472 connecting to him across the void of fluidic space, and they took over him like a remote control. Or like a thing with a remote control. But do they make it sound logical to what Terry might do?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Terry's the kind of guy that would name a starship after his hometown, and it's the registry number his birth year, so.
Well, Fuller did that as well, in his own way.
Yes, I like Halloween. CC 1031.
Because it's hard to tell what exactly is Terry versus the team, because a lot of the Easter eggy things, like, did Terry say let's put Kirk at Daystrom, or was that a art decision? It's kind of hard.
That was a writing room decision. They were like, "Oh, okay, give us ideas. Give us ideas for the Daystrom Institute. What do you guys want to see there?" People were just throwing out ideas and just putting them to a board. That's how you should do it, and then you get rid of the really ridiculous ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of ideas at this point. So.
Oh, we had a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, we're 2 likes away from 200 likes. 2 more likes, get to 200. Can we do it? It's up to you guys. Hit that like button.
I want to know.
Changeling equals bacon goodness. Ew, that's gross. What if V'ger randomly shows up to check on human progress or evolution?
V'ger, you say?
I think you got this straight.
Well, I mean, Terry loves the TOS movies, so I mean, Whale Probe or V'ger. I mean, maybe the Whale Probe hired the changelings to get the entire fleet together to send them a new message. We forgive you. There it is. So yeah. Thanks, guys.
It is the humpback whales. George and Gracie out for revenge. Yes.
Oh.
Ensign Ricky throws in $2. Benny Russell wakes up and everything vanishes.
Oh, can you imagine if it hard cuts the DS9 remastered footage? Just replace the file scenes of that episode again. It was all real! Yes.
Tobias says, okay, got it. It's Cybok returning.
Well, yes, God sent Cybok into the future, played by a different actor, because,
Yeah. With the powers of God. So.
What does God need with a body? Don't ask.
But I want that Picard one. It's very sexy lines and it's very, very appealing.
Yeah. But let's end the poll though, see what you guys think as well. Oh, still much closer this one. We asked you all, which theory do you think is more likely as to why they took Picard? 188 votes, we got 56% for Jack as a spy weapon, and 44% aromatic, so much closer. Much closer. Interesting.
Hit 213 likes, which is awesome. I'm tempted to just close it out, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of ideas.
Yes.
So.
Been a long week of ideas, Stuart.
What does God need with a changeling?
With a what?
Yes. What does God need with a changeling? What does God
body?
Need with Picard?
But the question is, Stuart, will everything be answered next week? Or is it just going to be...
A lot's going to be answered. A lot's going to be answered this week. Yes. Yes. I think episodes 7 and 8 are going to be a lot of answers, and then episodes 9 and 10 are going to be like the final battle resolution. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Changelings want Picard's body due to its historic significance, as he's the last bald human. Yes, they want him. They want him for their museum.
Disagree.
And on that note,
Whew.
yeah. Who wants the last super chat slot? Anybody? Ensign Ricky currently has it.
I mean, we'll
which is
play
ironic because Ensign Ricky was our very first super chatter ever. So,
but here is the final. Here's the video that you guys see at the end of the last couple of videos. What's great about this, as Stuart already said, is that you can literally be in this video, not tomorrow, obviously, but ASAP. Many ships left in the fleet, some fun eras you've not seen before. Maybe you want to be on the Titan, you want to be on the Enterprises, etc. With our wonderful captains with a plaque. Some Klingon people coming eventually. And we need more commanders apparently, because we're running out of commanders. We've got a few lieutenants. But if you want to have a ship right now, it'd be yeah, many ways.
yeah, it's a good thing to join because she could hang out with us in Discord as well. So,
any favourite ships from this Armada fleet, Stuart, that grab your attention in general?
The Beowulf. I love that it's a Sydney class, and I love that it's the Beowulf. It's a great name, and I love that it's commanded by my buddy Eric Martin.
Woo!
So yes, love the Sydney class.
Yeah. Once I got one, I used it because boy, so underappreciated. There it is. Yeah. Although
Yeah, lots of great ships here for sure. I've seen the Protostar as well.
Oh, I know. Yeah. A variety. And lots of different ways of having a ship fly as well. Because it's not all just left to right. It's a lot of variety. I'm glad I put the Valiant in as well. Because that's interesting. Because now you can look at that model, Stuart, and say, oh, is that the early model? Yes. Because the Valiant was early.
Very cool. Very cool.
And see what wasn't there.
Bill Barkley says, Stuart, you doing a Mandalorian live stream later? Yes. Yes, I am. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for the Mandalorian, Chapter 20. I'm going to be talking about tonight.
20?
Yeah, Chapter 20.
But they have 10 episodes a season, don't they? No, I guess not.
It's Chapter 20.
Oh, it's 8 a season, I guess. Yeah, 8, 16 to be number 5, I guess.
Yeah. But yes, that'll be tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My first reaction to The Mandalorian. And this episode is, episode 5 of Season 3, which is called The Pirate. So, there you go.
And Captain Casey Stewart says, Trekyards, is Sydney class bigger than a runabout? Yes, significantly.
Quite a bit.
It's got like 5 decks in the main hull. The runabout is 1, so yes. It is basically just a giant cruise liner, basically. So any brief review of episode 5 Mandalorian? I've seen none of them so far, so I'm very far behind. As episode 5 for the other ones.
This one's pretty great. This one definitely harkens back to some westerns, just the plot and stuff. But I mean, that's The Mandalorian for you. People have kind of given it a little bit of trouble because of that, but I think it's fine. This one's really great. Got some good callbacks to the season 1 and 2. Some characters show up, and it's really great. So I don't want to give too much away because I know you haven't watched any of it. So yeah.
Has there been many prequel bits, like battle droids or locations or anything from the prequels?
There's been a ship.
Cool.
Like one of the Naboo like chrome ones.
I mean, you don't have to tell me what they are. I'm just asking for no information, just in general, because I always hope the prequels get a bit more love. Is all.
Yeah.
Because they could go to Naboo, they could go to anywhere.
Yeah. No, this was a good one. This was. I need to rewatch it again. So me and Sylvia are gonna go make food and then watch it. And then I'll have another viewing of it fresh in my head because I've only seen it once. So yeah.
Is it engaging in the same way that previous seasons were? Now halfway through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's moving at a good pace. Each episode is a chapter. It's one kind of a self-contained story, and it's very good how quickly they're moving along with the plot.
Cool.
So.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So join me for that, guys. If you're interested in The Mandalorian, that is tonight. Same channel, different time. So join me.
Yes.
All right, I think we'll call it there. But thank you so much, guys. Everybody that's here.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. There is another super chat that did not read. Simon L. £5. Okay, Picard's body alone is not deadlier than the portal weapon, so that would be deadly. So what would be deadlier that would involve Picard's body? Locutus of Borg, I feel. Yes, we've kind of talked about that early on, and what the possibilities for that might be in regards to how it might be used.
Yeah, and it's not going to be his body itself. It's something in his body. It's DNA. It's a disease he had, an energy he has. It's that sort of thing. And yes, more Klingons. Yes, we definitely have some plans. But the joke obviously being is that you guys are going to keep having captain perks to bring in new ships, to bring Klingons in. So, you know what I mean? Etc, etc.
Yeah.
Alright, cool guys. Have a lovely evening. You'll see him tonight, him tomorrow, and us on Friday for 3-hour spectacular. My goodness, super excited for that. And I'm super excited it will be no inconvenience whatsoever for us. Be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we'll see you guys later. Until then, he's Commander Cocky.
He's Captain Foley.